Welcome to Simplified World Traveler's 3-Day Traveler Series. Today, we will be headed down under to Sydney, Australia, where you will find no shortage of things to do and exciting places to visit. Even if you have less than 3 days to explore this amazing city, our series is a good place to start to get some great ideas. Let's get ready for a full day one as we visit some amazing sites that you won't soon forget. Start your trip by exploring an iconic architectural masterpiece, the Sydney Opera House, situated right on the Sydney Harbour. Just imagine gazing at this incredible creation. The Sydney Opera House is a stunning piece of artwork in its own right from the 20th century that is both highly creative and unique in how it's made and put together. Picture it as a huge sculpture in the middle of the water, at the very tip of a special land that sticks out into the harbour. This building has made a huge impact on how other buildings are designed. The Opera House is made up of 3 groups of curved shells that interconnect, covering performance halls as well as a restaurant. When the sun starts to go down, you can climb up the huge staircase. And if you're feeling fancy, have a drink overlooking the stunning harbor view. Then, sit in the famous Joan Sutherland Theatre and prepare for something you'll never forget. After you've soaked in the wonders of the Sydney Opera House, take a stroll or an exciting bike ride over to another iconic landmark, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Just a short distance away, this adventure promises a whole new perspective on the city. The Sydney Harbour Bridge is not only the largest steel bridge, but it's also one of the most amazing natural harbors on the planet. Locals like to call it the coat hanger because of its shape. If you prefer to walk, begin near the Australian Heritage Hotel in the historic Rocks area. From there, you will find the Southeastern Pylon Lookout, which is an awesome view. For biking, head to the western side near the Sydney Observatory. You can rent bikes in the city or join one of the many cool bike tours. You'll definitely want to take as many pictures as possible on this adventure. Once you've marveled at the incredible views and had a blast on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, let's take a little journey to a historic neighborhood known as the Rocks. Stroll around this old part of town where the streets are made of bumpy cobblestone. You'll find special shops and cute cafes that are perfect for a treat. It's also a great place to get souvenirs. Centuries ago, in the late 1700s, when people were coming from Europe, this is where they made their homes and shops. You can learn all about the old times and new times, all while looking at the beautiful Sydney Harbour. The Rocks is also a center for art. There you can find the Museum of Contemporary Art that features amazing new artwork. On weekends, you can visit the Rocks Market, where more than 200 stalls of artists are selling their creations. The place is always buzzing with fun things to do, so check the calendar for what's happening. If you like old pubs, well, you're in for a treat. The Rocks has some of the oldest pubs in Sydney. Some opened in 1800s, like the Fortune of War in 1828, or Lord Nelson's Brewery in 1831. How about the Hero of Waterloo in 1845 and Hart's Pub in 1899? If you're curious about these old pubs and their stories, you can join some of the amazing pub tours to learn all about them. They've got some very colorful history, from times of rebellion to when people rushed to the pubs after a hard day's work. Now it's time to wrap up your first day with a visit to Circular Quay. Experience the vibrant energy, catch some street performers, and soak in the beautiful view of the water. Circular Quay sits at Sydney Cove and is surrounded by the Sydney Opera House and Royal Botanic Gardens on one side, and the Sydney Harbour Bridge on the other. It's a special spot right in the heart of the city where famous places meet. Circular Quay isn't just a place to enjoy the view. It's a hub for all sorts of adventures. You can choose from a variety of tours that start from here. There are guided walks to learn more about the city's history, tall ships that let you feel like a sailor, fast jet boat rides, and even special lunch and dinner cruises with tasty entrees. If you're interested in learning from the Aboriginal people, the Tribal Warrior Harbor Cruises, led by them, can be an amazing experience. And from May to November, some cruises head out to the ocean to watch the majestic humpback whales. As day one ends, make sure to get a good night's sleep, because day two is going to be even more exciting. But before we move ahead, we would like you to subscribe to the channel for more travel content as we add new locations on a regular basis. Get ready for day 2 with even more fun and adventure headed your way in this jam-packed itinerary. Start off by spending your morning at Bondi Beach. If you're up for it, Get active with a personal training session at the beach. Or put on your swimsuit and sunscreen and head to Bondi Icebergs for a refreshing swim in Australia's most photo-worthy ocean pool. You could also choose to stay for the night. When evening comes, you can have a delicious Aussie barbecue. Try sizzling steaks, tasty sausages, and yummy sides. The fun keeps going with a cool game of beer pong and making friends with other travelers. But since we're a bit short on time, let's move on to the next adventure. The Bondi to Coogee Coastal Walk. No visit to Sydney is really done without trying this scenic walk. It's about 6 kilometers long, or a little over 3.5 miles, and can take around 1.5 to 3 hours. This walk goes through many beaches, including Bronte to Clovelly and Tamarama. You should consider wearing a swimsuit so you can jump into the water and cool off at all these beaches. If you're a nature enthusiast or simply love zoos, catch a ferry and head to Taronga Zoo. This special place not only lets you see Australian wildlife up close, but also treats you to more stunning harbor views. Taronga Zoo is a must-visit attraction, boasting over 4,000 animals, including elephants, lions, tigers, giraffes, and of course the famous kangaroos. It's a hub of biodiversity and excitement, all set against the picturesque background of Sydney's harbor. Wrap up your day by spending an evening at Darling Harbour. This special place sits within Sydney Harbour, just west of Sydney Harbour Bridge. It's a unique spot bursting with options. There are restaurants, bars, museums, boat cruises, and so much more. You won't find anywhere else like it. This is your chance to learn about Sydney's maritime history, cruise by penguins, enjoy some fresh seafood, and even dance until the early hours at the multi-level nightclub. Or if you're with your family, there's plenty to enjoy together. At Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, you can get up close and personal with creatures like sharks, stingrays, and penguins. Over at Wildlife Sydney Zoo, meet iconic Australian animals like koalas, wombats, kangaroos, and crocodiles. Or rub shoulders with celebrities in wax form at Madame Tussauds. And dive into nautical history at Australian National Maritime Museum. If you're not dancing the night away, it's time to wrap up day 2, because day 3 will have even more excitement to finish out your trip. But before we move on, here are some good tips to remember before your Sydney adventure. Get your tickets in advance. Many places offer online booking, making entry smoother and your short visit more organized. Plus, consider getting an Opal card before arriving. It's a safe and easy way to use public transport, and you can refill it easily at different Sydney spots during your stay. Now, let's get started with our final day by experiencing heaven on earth, with many must-see places before you leave this amazing city of Sydney. Visiting the Royal Botanic Gardens in Sydney is an experience you won't forget. With over 74 acres of lush green space, it's a chance to explore Australia's amazing plants and creatures. The garden is right at Farm Cove, on the edge of the city centre. From one flower to the next, there's endless beauty and diversity. You'll be taking a lot of pictures and videos, capturing every angle of the incredible nature around you. One of the best parts of your visit will be the views of the harbour. Walking along these paths, you'll again see Sydney's famous harbour. With the Sydney Opera House and Harbour Bridge, it's a magical feeling to be in nature while looking at the city's famous sights. Plus, it's free. Just remember to bring some water and snacks, and you're all set to enjoy the stunning views. Moving ahead, there's a treat for the art lovers. Discover a rich collection of art at the Art Gallery of New South Wales. In 2002, the art gallery underwent a major expansion called the Sydney Modern Project. This transformation resulted in an impressive art campus spanning 2 connected buildings and a public art garden, making it a must-visit cultural destination. Only a 15-minute walk from the central business district. Entry to the art gallery is free, and there are both free and paid experiences to enjoy. While you're here, you can savor delicious meals at Crafted by Matt Moran. Likewise, the Gallery Cafe and kiosks offer refreshments, and there's also a takeaway menu option featuring native Australian ingredients. Now, Catch a ferry to Manly Beach for a unique coastal adventure. Unwind on the sandy shores, try out water sports, or venture into the lively town center. Manly Beach also offers convenient facilities, including public toilets, showers, a playground, picnic areas, and even an ocean swimming pool at Cabbage Tree Bay. You can enjoy an electric barbecue, find parking, and explore nearby cafes, making it a perfect destination for a great day by the sea. To end your journey, head to the Sydney Tower Eye, where you can take in a 360-degree view of the entire city. The Sydney Tower Eye, also known as Centre Point Tower, stands as the tallest structure in Sydney and the second tallest observation tower in the Southern Hemisphere. Locally, it goes by names like Flower Tower, Glower Tower, and Big Poke. Once you're at the observation deck, you'll find cutting-edge technology like high-powered binoculars and touchscreen panels that provide fascinating facts about the famous landmarks within view. It's a perfect way to conclude your trip with a breathtaking perspective of the city. Well, that's it. We hope you got some great ideas for your next visit to Sydney. Please like and subscribe. Do you have additional ideas or suggestions for a 3-day trip to Sydney or other locations around the world? Leave them in the comments, and you might see your ideas in our next video. Happy travels!